Well, good morning. I'm here in Tuskegee National Forest again this morning, imagine that. And I'm about to do a Parks on the Air activation, and I had hoped that I was going to get out and do a few this week. Really didn't happen, so I think last time I went was on Monday. And was it Monday? Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't remember. Whenever my last video was. But now it's Saturday, and I'm out here again and ready to do another one. So I wanted to show you real quick before I get started. Let me spin this around this direction. I want to show you what I got this week for my POTA activities. And this is not a ham radio item specifically. I got a tote. That's right, a tote. How cool is that? I'm telling you, I'm trendy. I'm cool. I got a tote. All kinds of cool bags and backpacks and everything. But you know what? I like keeping my gear. Alright, like my Icom 705, for example. I've got it in this lens case. I like this lens case. Very protective. Works good for the 705. However, this doesn't fit in backpacks very well that I have. This is my PackTenna random wire with an antenna tuner and all those kinds of things, and a little Endar leather bag for this toiletry bag. Works good for an antenna. I don't really like having a giant bag with like little pockets full of stuff. I like modular stuff, so like I can grab this, which is this antenna, and I can put it with any radio. Ready to go. 705, everything I need for the 705, ready to go. I've got my little organizer case here. This is just a little bag off Amazon. It's got my logbook, my BaMaTech's in here, CW key. Got my Leatherman for random field fixes. I've got a couple of pins. They go in this. So essentially, all I need to activate is this. No matter what, I carry this because this has my key and my logging stuff. And then I need an antenna. Here's an antenna. And I need a radio. Here's a radio. So there's my little kit, right? Now I like this. Modular. So like I've got all my radios in little bags like this. And the tote makes it where I can just toss everything down in there, pick it up, and go. So no matter what radio I use, I just grab my little modules, drop it in a tote, good to go. It also has a shoulder strap. So this particular one is from LL Bean. It's a tote. If you want a tote, get a tote. They're cheap. They can be cheap. They can be expensive. Either way, I think I like using a tote for Parks on the Air. How cool is that? I must be real trendy to think of that. Alright, today I'm going to set up. I'm going to use my PackTenna. I'm not using the loop today. Conditions are, there's a solar activity or something, and conditions are supposed to deteriorate this weekend. And I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. But what I do pay attention to is the fact that there might be some band challenges. So I'm not going to use the loop. I'm actually going to use the PackTenna random wire, which is also a compromise. But what it allows me to do is band hop. So instead of being stuck on one band, I can try a band, see how my spots are looking, RBN numbers are looking, and then move quickly if I want to try a different band. So that to me is a big advantage when band conditions are bad, is just being able to jump around and change bands as needed. So let me get this set up, and I'll be on the air here in just a minute. So one thing that's new that I wanted to show you is I got this little, I don't know, like a jeweler's anvil or something, whatever you want to call it. And it's got this little silicone bottom so it kind of stays put on a table. And it's pretty heavy. It probably weighs, I don't know, half a pound, 3/4 of a pound, something like that. And it's got this chromed surface, but it is very nice magnetic base. If you've got a key that magnets onto a base, very nice. A lot of the guys in the Parks on the Air Discord use these, so after seeing them for a long time, I decided to snag one. Alright, I'm tuned up here. I'm going to start on 30 meters this morning. So let me get my spot ready and get going. So I'm going to put in 10108 as the frequency. K-4451 is park reference. And just CW as the comment, so it makes CW the mode. Alright. Ready to rock and roll. So let's do it. Call QRL, make sure it's free before I actually hit add to my spot. Volume up to about 50. Okay, nothing heard. Let's do it. Good morning, sir. A little bit of fading there, but good morning. Glad to get you in the log. South Carolina. Actually stronger than 559. All right, good little run of 6 there. Several Virginias. Good little run so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got 11 so far in 10 minutes. That's not bad. Gotcha. Did I lose you? Oh, that's some strong QSB there. Got a couple folks there. Looks like they may have left. Man, it's a QSB this morning. Gotcha, gotcha. Alright, we may have dried up here on 30 meters. Alright, I'm gonna move, I believe, to 20. Okay, step here, 14, come up to around 14.061-ish. Filter 2. Let's come over here to my POTA page. I like to make sure there's nobody else on right around where I'm trying to move to. There's somebody on 14.062. 056.5. Yeah, I think I'm good as far as POTA. Now, I don't hear anybody, but unfortunately I got to tune up, so let's do it real quick. Alright, you can hear the noise came in there. It got louder. All right, good to go. Nice strong signal. Gotcha. Tuning up. Good morning. Thank you for the contact. Come again. My sending's getting sloppy. Copy that. Alright, anybody else? Anybody else? Let's do one more CQ, see what happens. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I hate landing at like 27. Come on, I need to be at 30. Morning, Mr. Manuel. U-E-L, I think. I always struggle spelling your name, man. Hopefully I got it right. In Puerto Rico. Alright, that's right at 30. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm about to call it quits. Alright then. Very good. Call QRT and CL clear. So that got me right at 30 contacts. So I got SM2SUM, good DX contact. Thank you for sticking in there with me. I think I could hear him a lot better than he could hear me. Then Manuel, of course, WP4TZ in Puerto Rico. Always good to get you in the log. And man, if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, WP4TZ, go check out his YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description too. He puts out some amazing activation videos. He's got some really great camera skills. He's a professional photographer, so his camera skills are awesome and his videos are really good. So check his out. But yeah, good activation this morning. I enjoyed using this little whatever you call it, jeweler's anvil or little steel block. This was really nice to be able to magnet my key onto it and not have to hold my key for once, because I normally hold my key. Apparently that wasn't plugged in all the way. But it was really nice. So I think I need to loosen the tension on my key just a little bit so it doesn't slide around so much, because I keep this key really tight for when I'm holding it, but when it's sitting on something like this, I need to loosen it up a little bit, so I'll probably do that. But very nice to have. These are cheap. Go snag you one if you want something to magnet a key onto for activating. They're small, easy to carry, little silicone base. That's nice. But yeah, good times with the Icom 705 and PackTenna random wire going through the Elecraft T1 tuner. Setup works good every time. It's a very reliable setup, and I've always had good results with it. But I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next activation video from W4ARB in Tuskegee National Forest 73.